Hi, and welcome to Brunch with Ryan, your daily live stream. Oh, it's so great to be with you on what day is special today. It's St. Patrick's Day. I love St. Patrick's Day because I'm half Irish. Like they say, kiss me, I'm Irish. So yes, I love being Irish, and there's some good things about being Irish. And you know what? Whatever you have, whatever your sort of natural tendencies are, they can all be used for good. I mean, if you're naturally more of a thinker brain, you find something where that works, or you find real estate investing works if you're a thinker brain or an action brain. And I was talking about that yesterday. And today I'm going to talk about, because I talked about you having a role of well-prepared me. And being well prepared to go into any situation gives you so much more confidence. And so I'm going to talk today about our closing call prep sheet, which I want you to be using. Now, I just updated all the forms in the what to say and what to do system. They're on your members website, the ourwolfpack.com. That website, when you go on there and put your passcode in, there's a folder with all the different forms in it. And one of the forms that's very important is this closing call prep sheet. I'm going to step through this a little bit this morning and show you this. You should actually be filling this out, and I will bet you that you're not. Before every closing call, that's why I want you to go into your member website and print about 20 of these and and have them, and this should be filled out before you make your closing call. Now, this is going to, especially if you're a thinker brain or if you're ever nervous. Now, if you have zero nerves about doing your closing calls and you're awesome and you have that master caller me role down really well, okay, maybe you don't need to do a closing call prep sheet every time. Although I'm telling you, you're going to be better. You're going to be better at the call if you're using this. So this closing call prep sheet is really awesome, and I want you to be using this. But in honor of St. Patty's Day, St. Patrick's Day, I had a couple of things to say about that. It's Kurt Russell's 70th birthday. He was a movie star from when he was almost a kid, and wow. And so, there was an Irishman, and he got a call from his doctor, and he went to the doctor's office, and the doctor said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've got bad news and I've got worse news for you." And so he said, tell me the bad news first. And the doctor said, "Well, you got 24 hours to live." And he said, "Oh, that's about as bad as it could get. What's the worst news?" And he says, been trying to reach you for a whole day." Okay, I really butchered that joke. Okay, so the cop notices a car kind of weaving down the road, and he pulls him over, and he walks up to the window, and the window comes down, and it's an Irish priest. And the officer says, "I noticed you were weaving, sir. Have you had anything to drink today?" And he goes, "Oh, just water." And he said, "Well, I kind of smell wine in there." And the priest looks down at the bottle and he says, "Oh, good Lord, he's done it again." Okay, that was kind of funny. Okay, and so there's this Irishman. He's looking for a parking spot, and he's driving through this big, huge parking lot, and he's getting frustrated. He can't find a parking spot. He's getting so frustrated. He says, "Oh, Lord, I cannot take it no longer. Open up a space for me, and I swear I'll give up the Guinness, and I'll attend Mass every Sunday. Faith and Magora." And all of a sudden, there, right in front of him, a space opens up, and he goes, "Oh, never mind, Lord, I found one." I like that one. Okay, Miss Mary. Oh, I can't tell another one. All right, so guys, let's talk about the closing call prep sheet. Okay, now while we're smiling, let's start deep breathing, and let's say a good affirmation today. Let's say, "I'm going to be happy on St. Pat's Day." Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to be happy on St. Pat's Day. Okay, so let's really have a good, positive, happy day in honor of St. Patrick, who reputedly drove do you guys know what he did? What is St. Patrick famous for doing? Let me know that. And who's Irish out there? Let me know if you're Irish. You know, I'm really responding to people's comments now on Facebook and that. So if you're making comments on Facebook, I've always been reading them, but now I'm trying to get in there and reply to more of you guys. And so whoever's Irish, that's cool. Like I said, I'm pretty Irish. But now this closing call prep sheet that I want you to get good at is, I was going to do our smiling. So let's do we're smiling. Let's do our deep breathing. Okay, in. Okay, hold it a sec and let it all out. Okay, write it in again. Hold a second. Okay, one more time. Big smile. Loosen up your shoulders and your neck. Okay, one more time. Hold it in. Okay, that's great. Okay, big smile. We're going to have a really good day on St. Patrick's Day and stay super positive. Stay positive. I will stay positive today. Let's do that one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I will stay positive today. You know, there's a little contest that you can even play with someone else, and you can say, it's called the positive contest. And whoever says the first thing that's not positive is the loser. It's a fun contest, and it really keeps you thinking in a positive way, and it makes you realize how many of the comments you make and how many of the things you think during the day might be kind of negative. So it helps you actually. So the closing call prep sheet, especially if you're nervous about a call and you feel like you don't really understand what the best approach is or something, you need a little bit of time to think it through. Lynette and I can do deal structuring in seconds. We look at the deal and we know what the deal is. We read the description, we read the notes, you know, look at a couple of the numbers, look at the difference in the what we think it's worth, the comps, and what they're asking. You know, make a few evaluations. Of course, if it's a yes lead that says that they're willing to take monthly payments, that's obviously the main primary factor. But assuming that it's a lead where they are at least open to it, I want you to now if they already said no, I'm going to tell you I don't want you necessarily doing a closing call prep sheet on a no lead. Unless you've done, I will say, however, that I want you to do Zillow. I want you to pull up Zillow on every lead because it takes 10 seconds. And, you know, there's information in there that you may not know that may give you some angle to approach the seller, some kind of a negotiating angle that gives you some confidence to make the call and gives you an approach that might be different from someone else's. Your approach is already, you know, somewhat different. And it depends on where you live, and because sometimes you'll call somebody and they'll say, oh yeah, so, you know, somebody's mentioned this before to me. And sometimes you'll get sellers and they'll say, I've never heard of this. I never considered doing this. And sometimes it's how long it's been listed. And there's a lot of other factors that play into that. But a lot of times, guys, with the creative financing approach, they are not really aware of it, and nobody's really explained it to them. And so you may be the first one who they really consider. So I want you to give the best shot at getting that deal. So this has some basics. It has the address, the phone number, and that, just so you can reference it back to your lead sheet. The other problem is if you're taking all your notes on that lead sheet, you're writing on the margins, and you know, I've seen these things. There's so much junk on there, you can't even tell. If you were calling off of that, if you're staring at that, you look so disorganized and you're jumping down here and all over. So it also helps you organize your thinking before you make the all important closing call. Guys, this closing call, some of these closing calls are life changers. I think of some deals that we've done and how much money we've made off of that one deal. And then I remember that it all started with me seeing an advertisement or finding that house and calling them and explaining what we do. And that's how they all start. You know, and so really that's how important some of these phone calls are to you. I mean, a deal could be hundreds of thousands of dollars to you in the long run. We've had a lot like that. Okay, so sellers hot buttons, that's one of the most important things on this form. Is I want you to know, or at least have guesses at if you're reading and it says, why are you moving? That's a very important question. You know, or when are you moving, or whatever, already vacant, you know. So if you see there, that lets you know that they don't have to move out, they don't have to find another house. And so their hot button is probably debt relief. I don't want to keep making payments on a vacant house. And especially if it's been sitting for a while. Another hot button would be if the house is not in perfect condition. If the house is rough and they didn't want to do the repairs, what we say is we buy as is. So that would be a hot button. So sometimes you take the time to write these out in advance, and you can sort of, with your deal structuring knowledge from watching us and Ron and do this for so long, you get smarter and smarter each time. Financing and closing call required. So what kind of financing? You're going to need seller financing. You're going to need whatever kind of financing. Now, I will say you might need outside financing on a rehab. Although this is something really important, there's something that we call transitional seller financing for rehabs. I want you to always ask if Alton's been doing this for a while. Alton's one of the mentors that we mentored at Global, and he's been a student of ours for a long time. And he took our pretty house strategies and applied them to rehabs and started asking the sellers if they would even just give them 6 months. Now, if you can do the rehab in 6 months and get financing so you don't have to come up with the money to actually buy the house, that changes the whole complexion of the deal. So again, what kind of financing is needed? If you're reading the sheet, deal one, price and terms. This is what you're hoping for. So this is going to be basically your first offer. And then what the benefits to seller are. And there's a lot of little benefits listed here that you can even circle if you don't remember all the seller benefits. And then it's got seller's questions and objections. You can anticipate those. Sometimes it'll say it down in the notes by the VA. It'll say they don't, this or that or whatever their objection might be. So you may actually have information on that. Best answers. And I mean, this is really prepping you. And then you even have a backup offers. So deal 2 and deal 3 offers. So you might go, if they're freaked out about the due on sale clause, maybe you go from a seller financing deal to a lease purchase, sandwich lease purchase strategy. So, and now at the bottom, I've given you a bunch of cheat notes, different strategies, different ways that you're going to buy the houses subject to sandwich lease purchase, like I just said, seller financing and all these different things. So everything is listed right there, and I want you to be using this closing call prep sheet on every deal that's good. Now, there are deals that are not worthy of it, and like no leads and really, bad leads, not things that look dead. I still want you to call those. And like I said, I still want you to look at Zillow, because why not? And then just making you smarter. And then for the good ones, though, I want you to really be prepared, be super well prepared me. And you know what? That just gives you more confidence. And that's what you need anyway on every call. So this helps everybody, unless you are just a rock solid deal maker, master caller, these things are really incredibly helpful. And especially if you're a thinker brain, and if you have other people in your organization who are working on the deal too, they're going to really appreciate that closing call prep sheet throughout the deal, because that says a lot of things like the seller's hot buttons that are going to come up over and over again, maybe on an extended basis. Remember, you got to make these deals stick. They don't close right when you even get the contract. There's a time before they get in there and see the attorney and actually sign the house over to you. So you got to make them stick. This is an incredibly helpful form. It's free. I mean, it's part of the what to say and what to do package. And all the forms are updated, and it probably says 20 what to say forms up there. There's actually like 24 forms in there right now. And I was going to throw another one up. Whenever I create a great new form, I'm putting them in there, so that will keep you on the cutting edge. That's why I want you to have that member access to the member website. So if you don't have access to the member website, if you don't know what your passcode is, to go on ourwolfpack.com with 2 F's and enter in and access all your information. Then call the office at 888-RICH now and get that information, because that is invaluable. Like I said, I'm constantly updating it. I just put a new form on there called 3 types of open houses. That's really helpful. If you got a property to sell, that's one of the forms I want you to read right away, because those are exit strategies that you're going to use. It's sort of a virtual open house, it's a live open house, and it's a hybrid. And I talk about each one and give you the details. Okay, wide-ranging day. Starting off with some funny jokes with St. Pat's Day. We love St. Patrick's Day. And kiss all you Irish people out there, except be safe through a mask, I guess. I don't know. So Mrs. Murphy said to Father O'Grady, she came to talk to the father during confession. She says, Father, I've got terrible news. Oh, my husband passed away last night. And the father goes, oh, that is terrible news. What happened? Did he have any last requests? And she said, oh, certainly he did, Father. He says, Mary, put down that damn gun. Okay. Finish with a joke. Okay. Leave him laughing, right? I don't know if it was a laugh-worthy joke, but I like telling jokes once in a while. Brighten your day. So have a great day. Remember, we're going to be happy today, positive today. We're meeting our great mastermind groups today. And so, guys, if you have questions about being in our awesome mastermind group, you got to call our office, 888-RICH-NOW, and find out more information about that. That is some amazing, insane access to the Wolves and us helping you. So love spending this time with you every day. And so I will see you tomorrow at the same place, same time. And I can't wait. So until then, guys, keep expecting success, getting awesome training, and taking lots of action. Have fun on Pat.